It's strange how a perfectly normal Sunday can turn upside down before you even sense the danger. That afternoon, the atmosphere was calm. A pale blue sky rested over our yard. A breeze moved through the apple trees just enough to create that gentle, dry whisper of leaves. We were in the kitchen, adding the final elements to an early dinner. I had the sleeves of my old jeans shirt rolled up, pouring cool lemonade into a neat row of glasses on the counter. My wife, Anna, was arranging plates, humming an old folk song she's hummed for years without noticing. Our son, Leo, 13, was walking between the pantry and the table, carrying forks and spoons. No one was rushing. Life was just proceeding as usual. That house, sitting at the end of a long gravel path we'd leveled ourselves, a 2-story brick building with a wide veranda around it, had been our refuge for years. There was no noise from a main road, no Homeowners Association, HOA, meetings to endure. No one dictated how high our grass could grow. It was purely ours. This is why what happened next is so difficult to accept. The sound didn't belong in this area. It wasn't the sound of tires slowing on the driveway. It wasn't a truck idling in the quiet cul-de-sac. This was a heavy, deep mechanical rumble. It wasn't approaching. It was charging. I froze, the lemonade pitcher suspended midair. Anna's head snapped toward the window. Leo stopped in the middle of the dining room, and a fork slipped from his grasp, clattering onto the floor. Through the front glass, we saw it. A black SUV, large and heavy, speeding down our path, kicking up dust and gravel behind it like smoke. It didn't reduce its speed. It gave no signal. It didn't pause before the garage. It struck at full velocity. The noise was like an explosion, splintering wood, twisting metal, and the entire front wall shuddered. The garage doors buckled inward. Cracks spiderwebbed across the plaster. A cloud of dirt rained down from the ceiling. Somewhere in the utility room, a shelf collapsed, sending tools and gardening gloves scattering. Leo stood in the hallway like a statue. Pieces of insulation drifted past him like snow. I dropped the glass I was holding. It shattered on the floor with a tiny, insignificant pop compared to the chaos outside, and I was already moving toward the front door. Anna yelled something I couldn't comprehend. 2 men exited the SUV, both wearing black tactical vests. Neighborhood compliance was printed in bold, white letters across their chests. The taller one kept his sunglasses on despite the fading light. The other held a clipboard as if they were here for a home inspection. "Stay inside," the tall one commanded. "This is official compliance business." I was already on the veranda, my boots crunching on shattered wood. "We don't have a neighborhood association," I said curtly. He was unfazed. He simply removed his glasses and gave me a smile that held zero warmth. "You were warned," he stated flatly. "That storage building in your backyard violates code. We are here to resolve it." I gestured at the wreckage behind him. "By driving through my house? Are you insane?" The other man casually opened the clipboard as if reading a court order. "Your appeal was rejected, Mr. Harris. This is final enforcement." "There was no appeal," I shouted, my voice rising. "There wasn't even a warning. No letters, no calls." "You were sent 2 notices last month," he said, as if reciting a grocery list. "I received nothing," I said, and I meant it. And even if I had, I pointed at the mangled garage door. "This is not how you handle a code violation." "Next time, comply faster," the tall one said, tucking the clipboard under his arm. I pointed to the window above the garage. "My son's room is up there." He tilted his head slightly and shrugged, as if the fact was irrelevant. "Then perhaps you shouldn't build structures without clearance." There was no misunderstanding here. This was deliberate. The sarcastic smiles, the short sentences, every word was designed to provoke. I stepped close enough to him that I could see my own reflection in his lenses. "One chance," I said, my voice low. "Get off my land before this gets worse." His eyebrow lifted in amusement. "It already has." And as if on cue, another black SUV appeared at the bottom of the hill, climbing the gravel path with slow, steady determination. On the veranda, Anna gripped her phone tightly in one hand. The other pressed to her chest. She tried dialing 911 twice. The screen blinked. No signal. She tried again. Nothing. It had been working perfectly 10 minutes earlier. That's when it hit me. This wasn't bad reception. This was a dead zone, manufactured to be dead. While we were processing this upstairs, Leo was already in motion. He didn't run. He didn't scream. He went straight to his room, to the closet, and slid back a hidden panel behind his jackets. From deep in the shadows, he pulled out the duffel bag I had told him about, just in case. He paused with his hand on the zipper, breathing slowly, listening to the low idle of the SUV outside like the growl of a predator. My words were in his head. Don't start the fight, but if it comes to your door, you do not let it cross the threshold. He unzipped the bag. A level 3 plate carrier, a snug camouflage vest, gloves, ear protection. My AK-74, legal, clean, unloaded. He checked the chamber. Clear. Then, with a practiced motion, he inserted the magazine. Not to be a soldier, not to hunt, but to be ready. Outside, the shorter man walked to the mailbox with a crowbar and split it in two. Anna gasped behind me. He pulled a red can from the SUV and began tilting it over our flower beds. The stench of gasoline soaked into the mulch. You touched my house again, I said, stepping down from a veranda, my voice low enough to make him stop pouring, and you will regret it. He swung the can as if it were part of the threat. Oh, what? You'll call the police. His grin sharpened. Sweetheart, we are the law out here now. And then the screen door eased open behind me. Leo stepped out. The sunlight caught the steel of the magazine against his vest. His boots made a solid, heavy sound on the gravel. He walked halfway down the path, the rifle's muzzle angled toward the ground. His finger was straight, off the trigger. He stopped. This is private property, he said evenly, as if stating a fact from a textbook. You have just committed multiple felonies. Both men froze. The tall one lowered his clipboard, blinking as if the scene didn't compute. The short one's eyes narrowed. I am not here to shoot, Leo continued. I am here to ensure that you don't. The short man's hand twitched toward his vest. Leo didn't raise the rifle. He just shifted his stance slightly, enough to make it clear he'd seen the movement. One move, he said, his voice steady, and I will send a message to both of you. The threat hung in the air between them. Then the radio on the short man's chest crackled. Command, we have pushback. Kid with a rifle. Static consumed the rest. From the hill, the second SUV rolled in slowly, for more men got out. Same black gear, same fake patches. But these men weren't smirking. They were watching Leo as if he had just flipped the entire script. Their leader raised his radio. It's too hot. Fall back. It might have ended right there, but one of the younger ones, looking jittery, half raised his weapon. Leo didn't flinch. He fired one round into the gravel at the man's feet. The crack split the air. Dirt and stones peppered the man's boots. He stumbled back, dropping his weapon. That was it. Engines roared. Both SUVs spun on the gravel, tearing back down the drive, disappearing into clouds of dust. A moment later, the sound of real sirens cut through the silence. Faint, then closer and closer. Leo stayed where he was, rifle still pointed low, eyes on the road. He hadn't given chase. He hadn't gloated. He had simply held his ground. By the time the deputies' cars pulled up, their lights washing the yard in red and blue, the intruders were gone. The garage doors hung in twisted metal. The garden was crushed under tire tracks. And on the veranda, Leo sat straight-backed, vest unstrapped, the rifle across his lap, unloaded. Safety on, magazine removed and placed beside it. An older deputy crouched down. Name? Leo Harris, he said. My father is inside. Are you hurt? No, sir. Did you discharge that weapon? One warning shot. Into the ground. No one was harmed. The deputy nodded, looked at the destruction, and his jaw tightened. Later, that body cam footage made its way to local news. Then, national. 13-year-old stands ground against armed intruders. Some called him a hero. Others debated whether it was right. But the part that stuck with everyone was his calmness. No wild threats, no shaking hands. Just discipline. The investigation pulled back the curtain. They weren't HOA representatives. They weren't licensed for anything. They were a loose crew of ex-security and ex-military with bad discharges, drifting from one county to the next. They targeted neighborhood without real oversight, rolled in with decals on their SUVs, titles on their vests, and fake paperwork. If you resisted, they pushed harder. They even carried portable jammers to kill cell service. 2 days later, the FBI and DOJ raided a warehouse linked to one of them. They found uniforms, pre-filled citation books, fake HOA letterheads, and maps with targets marked by pins. 3 were arrested. 2 were on the run, and the man believed to be running the operation vanished without a trace. We didn't stay quiet. Anna and I contacted a lawyer. We didn't just go after those men. We named the county office that had ignored other residents' warning for months. Not out of anger, but because ignoring what's right in front of you allows the rot to spread. It gained traction. Civil rights groups got involved. A bill was introduced in Congress, the Walker Act, making it a federal crime to impersonate any HOA or private enforcement without verified licensing, mandating registration, and providing federal support for local abuse investigations. No more hiding in the shadows. Life in our corner of the county slowly edged back toward normal. Eventually, Leo returned to school. He didn't talk about it, and no one asked him twice. Not out of fear, but out of respect. In the spring, we rebuilt the garage ourselves. No contractors. Just me and my son, side by side. When we replaced a mailbox at the end of the drive, I bolted a cedar plaque onto it that I had carved in the shop. 4 words. We don't start fights. We finish them. Below it, in smaller letters, was a line Leo had scribbled on a sticky note and left on the counter weeks earlier. I never changed a word. By law, by honor, by family. The board still smelled of fresh stain. The garage stood straighter than it ever had, and the house felt like ours again. Folks still slow down when they pass. Some wave, others just nod. They don't have to say it. We all know. They tried to take control here once. We made sure they left with less than they came for. So now, I'll ask you, what do you think? Was my son right to stand his ground the way he did? Where is your line when someone shows up in your yard with fake authority and a real threat? Drop your thoughts in the comments.